important day, a day that you consider important, it comes to mind. The first thing that comes to mind, tell me about it.
I'm being birthed.
Beautiful. Tell me more.
Coming out of my mother's womb.
What do you notice as you say that?
I'm watching myself being birthed, but I'm also feeling confusion as the infant. Confusion, but also feeling a download at the same time as the infant.
Very good. Tell me more.
I'm seeing a key plan. It's almost like the awareness as even the infant, as the newborn child, was already there, right as you're coming out of the womb. I see codes all around my little body. The color around my body is like it's like the ruby, right, or the magenta. It's very, but there's codes all around it. I'm very peaceful. There's no crying. I'm at peace with the birth. It's almost like my being knew I had to come. But I don't like the confinement. Feeling confined. Confined inside the mother's body and now confined inside the physical body as an infant.
What's happening there now?
The nurses are just cleaning me. I can feel them, but I don't like their touch. They're kind of rough. They're not gentle.
Is there anything else that is attracting your attention over there?
I see my mother's being taken care of by the doctor. I don't like the bright lights in the room. It's too bright. It doesn't make sense to me. You want to dim a room when a child comes in. You don't want the bright lights. They don't know any better. I don't like being touched by these people. They're wrapping me in a blanket now. I feel confined again. My little being, the inner being, wants to stretch and say, all right, What are we here to do? Let's go. But the confinement in the physical vessel as an infant is not, it's not going to work. It's confusing.
Yeah,
It's confusing for me.
I understand. Very good. Now you can take another deep breath to close that scene out. Very good. Let go of any energies from that sin, any confusion, any restrictions. Now you let go completely. And releasing deeper now. And we're going to go back in time into the womb. Going back to the time when you were in the womb. Arriving into the womb now. Be there now. And tell me, what do you notice?
It's dark. It's more comfortable. It's flowing. You can hear the heartbeat. My mother's heartbeat. It's the same as the heartbeat from where we come from. We're all connected to the same heartbeat. I don't like it in here though. I want to get out. I came for freedom and I want my freedom already.
Do you feel like you have a body?
Mm-hmm. It's developing, I feel it. I can feel it, but I can also feel and expand my consciousness.
And what's happening when you do that?
I can be aware of my mother's feelings. I'm aware of her energy, the energy she's engaging with.
What are you noticing about what she's engaging now?
She's very busy. She is taking care of my brother, who is an infant right now as well. He's an infant in diapers. She's taking care of him and all my other brothers and sisters. But she's too busy. She's in her head because she doesn't have time for herself. Too much to do. But she goes out in her garden and that's where her peace is. That's where I'm at peace, in the room. Because she's at peace.
Beautiful. What else do you notice while you're in the womb?
A lot of whooshing sound. Sounds like earth. Sounds that are on earth that we hear. Yes. The rushing sounds and noises sound like the rivers. There's sounds that sound like waves from the oceans. The heartbeat. The inside sounds like the outside.
Beautiful. Let's take another deep breath to close that scene too. And we're going to go just to an earlier time in the womb. Let's go and become even smaller. An earlier time in the womb when you're even younger, even smaller. Be there now. What do you notice now?
Conception. It's happening. But I'm watching from outside. I'm watching from aerial view.
Describe it to me.
Conception's combination of the cells of the mother and father.
How do you feel while you watch that?
I'm watching the molecular occurrences happening. While I'm watching, I'm choosing what I'm going to look like, placing it in.
How do you do that?
It's a cellular structure choice. You're going to ultimately look like your parents if that's what you choose. And some can choose not to look like their parents. It's through thought creation. Everything is through thought. Every single thing.
What do you see now?
The two becoming one at the cellular level. The egg through the fertilization process, it's all becoming, it's actually expanding light. Light is expanding on the outside and on the inside. Nucleus fusion. Nucleus fusion. Nuclei. I'm hearing this outside of myself. Nuclei fusion, nucleus fusion.
Wonderful. I'll ask about that soon. Thank you for sharing with me.
Yeah.
Very good. So let's take another deep breath to close that scene. Letting it go. And we're going to go back in time. Back to the last day of your previous lifetime. The last day of your previous lifetime, arriving there now. Be there now. And you can look around you and see where you are. Your first impressions.
Feels a little cold. Damp.
Use all your senses and describe what you noticed. Very good.
It's old. I can't tell if it's a castle. The walls are like concrete. Let me look.
Look down to your feet.
Mm-hmm.
What do you notice?
Cold. The floors are cold. I think it's winter time. It's very cold. There's a fire in the fireplace. There's a big window. Yes, it's snowing outside. There are people in the room. They're waiting for me to pass.
Sense your body. Does it feel male or female?
Female.
Look down at your body and describe what you're wearing.
It's long skirt or long dress. It's not. It may just be the garment I'm in to pass. It's comfortable. My children are in the room. They're older. They're adults. They're dressed very well.
How old do you feel?
My hands don't look that old, but I feel... Oh, I'm in my 80s. I'm in my 80s, I'm hearing. I'm in my 80s. I live longer than was anticipated at this time.
How many kids do you have there?
There are 6.
Wow, what a big, beautiful family.
Yes, and I have grandchildren. 14 grandchildren. This is definitely in a castle because I can see the grounds out the window. There's a big fountain in the center. This is Scotland.
Beautiful. Tell me more. What else do you notice and what goes through your mind as you lay there?
Hoping that I raised my children right to continue the dynasty of the family in an open and loving way. To continue to give and not be selfish with what we have been given. My worry is that after I pass, when I leave them, there will be fighting. They're fighting for the crown. Oh. Not a crown of the kingdom, but a crown of the family member in charge, if that makes sense. So what they don't know is that I allowed someone outside of the family that's going to tell them they're all equal. That will read the instructions of what I've left behind. The home will not be theirs. I am leaving it to be shown and to be utilized as a place to portray, be utilized for art. It's going to be a legacy of the family for the public to come in and walk through. The money that will be raised will be for those that need more than what they have.
It's beautiful.
They may be angry, but I know my children, and some of them already fight too much. They'll be angry with me, but I won't be there.
Wonderful. What else do you notice as you lay there? Is there anything else attracting your attention?
Peaceful. There's painting on the ceiling. Angels. I had angels painted on the ceilings in many of the rooms.
Maybe you can take a moment and look around the art in the house. You said it's going to become like a museum for people to see. And maybe you can share with me a little bit more about the art that you have there.
There's art pieces that are there that have been collected through different different time periods in life and previous generations. But also I'm opening the castle up to be utilized for other artists to display their work. The art that is portrayed is from various artists that have painted the family, painted there has been royalty in the family at some point. But just sceneries of when the children were growing and a lot of artwork of nature. I love nature. There's nature artwork all over. It's peaceful. It brings me peace. It takes me back into places and other times when I look at it. That's why I have the angels painted on the ceilings.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing with me.
Yes.
Let's close that scene, take another deep breath. And we'll move to an earlier day in that life, a day that you consider important from that life. Be there now and arrive to that day. Tell me about it.
I'm marrying my best friend. I've known him since I was very young. We were inseparable as children. He's a few years older and he had to go off and do studies and some other things. But we've come back together. It's a very happy day. A lot of joy. The families are happy, very close. My own mother is very happy. My father's. I see my father doing toasting with the father-in-law and laughing. We haven't even started the wedding yet, and they're already drinking. There's a little pain in my heart, though.
Breathe into it and tell me what that's from. And close that.
My own sister is in love with the man that I am marrying. And she's not happy about this. She wants him for herself, but he doesn't love her. I'm sad for her at the same time. I'm happy for myself. And I wonder if this is selfish. But he's already stated he doesn't want to be with her, and he never ever did. He doesn't see her in that way. But my sister is sad, but also mad. She refuses to be at the wedding. She will not be there.
Let's see how that can cause pain in your heart. Thank you for sharing with me.
Yes.
Is there anything else there that you notice? Look around you. What do you see now?
Everything's set up. It's just the castle. This is my parents' castle. It's set up for a beautiful white wedding. There's white flowers everywhere. Everything is white. White lilies, white roses. Everything white that is in bloom right now that could possibly be in bloom is inside this castle. The people are gathering. You can hear a lot of noise.
Sounds very beautiful. Very good. Let's take another deep breath now and close that and let it go. And we'll move back to the last day of your life in that lifetime. Just a moment before passing, just going back to that moment. Be there now. What do you notice now?
Hard to breathe.
So I want you to take your last breath and take a deep breath, and you can move to the other side of it. And leaving that body behind. And you can describe what is happening as it happens.
I feel like I'm just sitting up, stepping out of the physical body. Just light, just energy floating up. I feel free. I can breathe. I see diamond light, like clusters of diamond light, like sparkling, just sparkling. I wouldn't call this a tunnel. It's just, It's like I'm rising into my own light, my essence, my own purity. And my energy is spinning, creating a vortex that's going up. This is rising. I'm creating my own vortex of light. And it's connecting to, it's almost like a light just got turned on above me, like a dome light. Like someone flipped a switch. And my light is entering inside of there, but it's almost like a room. Like you're going into a room.
Tell me more. Good.
It sounds okay. I'm entering this big room. It's white and it feels very galactic, and it's a circle, and there's this white, it's a circular room, and there's seating all around the room against the wall, like a white sofa, but it's circular, goes all the way around, and there's persons entering the room. Persons entering the room, they're all taking a seat. There's another light coming from above in the center of the room, and a flame just lit on the bottom. I'm hearing this as resurrection point. Um, hmm. Those walking into the room I feel like they're me. Yeah.
Wonderful.
I'm going to sit with myself.
Mm-hmm. And you look down to your body. What do you notice?
It's just light. It's that sparkly light. For right now, I just look like can see through. It's golden and white. It's glittery.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what's happening in that room. Use all your senses. And you can describe what is happening as it happens.
Right now there's laughter. Laughing at my own self, for my own experience, and what I created. And what I created in the other lives that are all sitting in this room, that I am looking at and speaking with. I can feel wings on my back. Like even though I don't have a physical back, I still feel a back. The light in the center is starting to create a screen imagery, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I can see my life, just this life. But if I want to, I can look at the other lives by tuning into one of the other lives of myself in this room.
I see. So let's take a moment to tune to the life that you just lived and see what did you learn, what was the purpose of that life.
Joy, unconditional love. To really follow my own senses and my own heart. But to have compassion, like I did for my sister. I felt her pain. But I still loved her, even though she didn't agree with me and what I was doing. My path in that life was to follow my own knowing and create the joy in my life that I wanted to have, but also what I wanted to give others. Although I could feel pain, I knew how to nourish it. I could sense it in others. I was very sensitive. And I can help them reveal it. I can help them find their pain, to try and bring it forward and heal it. It wasn't my main work. That life wasn't a life where you can really show yourself as a healer. But people came because they knew I was different. I can reach people deep inside. And that's why I loved the paintings. Because in your own creativity, you can give as well as receive. It was a happy life.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing with me.
Yes.
Now you can take another deep breath. Close that in, leave this life behind. I'd like to invite the higher self-consciousness of Keleena to integrate in her body now. So I may speak with it freely. May I speak with Kaleena's higher self, please?
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming forward today. Thank you for showing her these beautiful images and life. Would you start the body scan on Keleena to see if there's any healing that you need today?
Yes.
Thank you. And tell me if you find anything. What do you find?
There's green light in her lower right leg. Something is currently already being healed. We are scanning.
Thank you.
There's a swirling at the solar plexus, but it's swirling in a different direction. We're going to correct this.
Thank you.
There's a hook in the solar plexus from outside sources, and we're going to remove this. There's an energy trying to attach to her aura. It's trying to damage her auric field.
What's the origin of that energy?
We would like to say jealousy of the originator.
Okay. I'd like to invite the angels to take it to where it's best served. Take it to the light for healing.
Shed enough light on the outside of the auric field that it could not connect in any way today. It has in the past, but it's been removed several times.
Okay. What can we do today so it wouldn't come back?
We're going to increase the light quotient at a higher vibration. It cannot penetrate anymore. If this person tries to send this energy back, it will only reflect back.
Wonderful. Thank you. Is there any other entities?
There are no entities that are damaging or negative. There are many beings of light, celestials, there are elementals, there are all forms and all vibrations around her at all times, waiting to speak as her awareness as a channel is expanding. They're waiting in her field.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can continue the healing while those entities will take place to speak and share their messages. Would you allow that?
Yes.
Thank you so much. So, who would you like to allow to come forward first?
There are many. We are going to let you choose.
Okay, so what are my options?
Everything is here.
Okay, very good. So, because we're coming closer to Christmas, I would like to invite Yeshua to come forward.
Yeshua is standing here, yes.
Thank you so much. Hello, Yeshua. Come in, integrate, and share with me when you're here.
I am present.
Thank you so much for coming forward. Do you have any message would you like to start with?
In the light of God, we are all one. We ask that all see themselves as they are, in this highest vibration. For many do not know the power within their own kingdom. The kingdom is your heart. Your heart is your peace. And ye shall live in thy own kingdom as their God's self. May all they know that all are as I am. That I am no different than you. I never have been. I never will be. We are all one in faith, in hope, and in prayer. There's only truth and love. Return to love. Return to thy truth. When in love, one knows. One feels. One vibrates. A higher consciousness mind. As the heart opens. And the heart is aware. As the field of light expands. From and through the reality of what is. And what is the presence of Source within you. For we all are, and forever shall be. Allow thyself to know the truth as love is your kingdom. And love shall prevail.
Thank you so much for this beautiful message.
My pleasure.
Many people wondering about your return. Can you describe more about that day?
It is not consisting of my return. It is consisting of our return. All are becoming. No one is any less. If you have chosen to be here, as you choose to ascend, you are becoming Christed. And Christed is to be enlightened. All carry the codes. It is up to you to choose to activate them.
Beautiful. So what does that mean to activate them?
Activate the divine frequency codes to become Christed. It's in the DNA. It will be activated through the light.
How a person choose that?
Thought, consciousness, awareness, your heart. If you choose to be like Christ, which means enlightenment, you choose. This is your path.
Wonderful. And what can assist people in the process of enlightenment? What would you like to share today?
Enlightenment is being in your truth, and truth is being love. Many are not even aware of what love is. When one comes into love and experiences love, the love of God through them, through their self, the love of God through another, the love of God through a child, an innocent child, the birth of a child, even an animal. When one relates to unconditional love and however they shall choose, one will experience that heart opening and awakening. And this is only the beginning. The heart continues to awaken over and over. And the more you choose to be in this state of being in love, you accelerate your process of becoming enlightened, choosing to live from the kingdom, choosing to live in the kingdom of love and light and purity, and in surrender, of knowing whom you are.
It's beautiful and simple. Sounds simple.
It's very simple, but it's very complex for the human ego to transcend that information.
Yeah.
If one lets the ego step out of the way, they will understand that simplicity is the key and that love is the answer. And it is always the answer.
What a good way to realize the ego and to choose love.
Yes. The ego, there is a form of ego that is necessary to be in the human structure. That is to survive on the planet.
Yeah.
But that human ego is also in alignment with the heart. Mm.
Can you tell me more about that a little bit louder? About that ego and what do you mean?
The survival ego is in alignment with the heart.
Mm.
For one to survive upon the planet, must allow themselves to hear and feel the truth that's activated in the physical body. There's a created ego that is distortion of truth. The survival ego is there when you were born. It tells you when to eat, when to drink, when to sleep. There's a difference.
I see. Very good. And then how do you start dismantle or be aware of the ego that was created that is not necessary for survival?
When things don't start to feel right in your life anymore, when you start to question who you are, that is the first response that the human will have. When they say, "Who am I?" and they're confused with who they think they are in the moment, that's when the awakening begins.
Beautiful. Yeah, we just witnessed that when Keleena was born, she had a moment of confusion there too. Maybe we can take a moment to tap into that confusion and learn about what was that about and
What was the confusion that was stated, please?
the confusion was she was feeling confinement. She was feeling suddenly in her body there was. So I'm just wondering about that introduction of ego in her being when you're born. How does that feel? Is there confusion there too, or?
It's confusion through the senses. Senses being something that's bigger than life, bigger than anything, and then having to be confined into a physical human body. It can create a confusion. Yes, that's true. It's that ego. It could be, if that's how you wish to say it, because you begin to feel small. First step, to feel small. And the truth is that nobody is.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for this information. Is there anything else would you like to share today with the collective?
Yes.
Thank you.
Treat others with kindness and compassion and caring. And make everyone in your path feel good. Make everyone feel loved. Open your heart. This is how you're meant to live. This is why you're here. That's why we're all here. You will understand when someone responds to you in the same way that you give, with an open heart, to everyone, not only those that you select. all and everything. Become one with all and everything in your heart center, and welcome them all into your kingdom. For your kingdom is the kingdom of God, Mother, Father, God, as one. We await you.
Thank you so much for this message.
Our pleasure.
Thank you. Let's take another deep breath now and connect with Keleena's higher self, please. Thank you so much. May I speak with Keleena's higher self, please?
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming forward again. Now, I wanted to ask you if you wanted to share with Keleena anything about the thing that you showed her from. Didn't ask you about those things that you showed her. Is there anything would you like to express to her of why you showed what you showed her?
Will you be specific in which things we've showed her?
About
The lifetimes?
the lifetime, and those events. If there's anything that connected to the life that she's living now, that
yes.
Thank you.
Those lives correlate with how she is portraying herself now in this life. She's come back to be the joy again, but to teach it this time and not hide to teach it. Many lives she has gone through the purpose. Do we show the divine purpose or do we hide the divine purpose? And in that life, she trusted herself and she knew how she can help people. Yet because of who she was married to, some things she had to hide. But she still remained truthful to herself. As she lived in joy, in balance, knowing that the key to freedom was within herself. And this is what she's doing in this life. The scenes with the puppy dogs were to show her highest levels of joy that she experienced in this life, that she feels on and off now. It's that same joy. It's a complete enjoyment of unconditional love, given and received by other beings that are in human form. Because many don't believe that you can receive from anyone else other than another human. As a reminder, and she knows this, she feels the love of others all the time, beings, light beings, angelics. She will continue to teach it at a deeper level. And what we wished to show her is that the unconditional love is all one. No matter how Source has created it, it comes through.
It's beautiful. It's very good that you share that.
Yes.
Do you want to share anything else?
The birth confusion was only that of as a wise one coming in and wanting to step completely in their power right away, but being an infant and feeling like an infant at times through life and not being able to express was a key factor that she had to get through and work out in this life. Now she is able to express herself fully. Expression is key for many upon this planet right now.
Yeah.
Freedom to express and be.
Do you want to say anything about that and add to help the collective with that?
Yes.
Thank you.
To free yourself through expression in your own truth, is also to free your mind. And freeing your mind of that which you thought was true, of that which you thought you had to do because of what others are telling you. It's not freedom. To hold back and not express yourself through your creativity, through your dance, through your beingness, through what you choose to do. If you wish to meditate, if you wish to correlate your events and create some kind of beautiful center in the world, a place where all can come together as one.
Mm-hmm.
That's your freedom. That's your knowing. And you need to follow your knowing, and you need to express this and the levels of light and the levels of love that are for you.
Mm.
And allow no one else to hold you back. You are God's sovereign, and you will always be.
Mm. That's a beautiful message. Let's take a deep breath and relax even deeper. I'm going to take a moment to just request a little bit more quiet around here, and we'll be back in a moment. Invite the lights to bring more healing to her body now. Thank you so much.
Yes.
This was a really beautiful message about the expression of truth self of beings. Is there anything else would you like to add?
Don't hide from who you are. Don't feel ashamed. There's nothing to be afraid of. The only thing that the human ego fears is fear itself. And fear is only created. Understand this reality, and you step into your passion, your purpose, and your vibration of love.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Is there anything else that you showed her? Would you like to share more with words? And how it's affecting her, the life which she's living now?
The pain that she felt from her sister in that life is the pain that she's feeling from many sisters right now that are not finding their own truth and not finding their own self first. When you cannot find your own self, or you have not connected with your own true self, you seek that within others they have. And that's what her sister did. Because she didn't have the power to go within, and she didn't allow her ego to get out of the way. So to want to take from someone else is what many do in this world right now. They want to step in between because they cannot find their own happiness. To find your own happiness is to find your heart, find your love, and love yourself first.
Mm.
After this, you will attract your vibration. It's key to human life. You attract what you give. But to try and take from someone else is ego. And right now, the planet is going through a huge egoic transformation.
Tell me more about that.
There are those that define themselves by their created ego. And when they want something that is not rightfully theirs, they'll try and take it however they wish, however they see fit to them, without being connected to the heart, to emotions, to feelings. This is why the created ego has got to dismantle, because it is disconnected from the heart. As we said before, the survival ego is connected to your heart. To dismantle the created ego is to dismantle the perception of who you think you are and who others think you are. But it's also to dismantle the perception of what you think you have to have, when in reality, all you need to have is love. Love thyself. Love all others.
Beautiful. I know we're in this big time of change and ascension. I'd like to invite higher council that oversees the ascension timeline right now to give us some messages for the collective. I'd like to council to come forward and introduce yourself.
We are here.
Thank you. Can you share more about yourself so we know who are we connecting with?
We're a galactic council. There are many here.
Can you share with us more about the Ascension Portal right now?
The Ascension Portal has been ongoing for many years. It's widening. It's broadening, however you wish to say this. It's expanding as all of you grow. And through this portal, the levels of light are expanding, the brilliance, and activating through the cellular structures of all the souls upon this planet. This is to assist in the awakening. There has been many awakenings since your time periods. You've started in the late 80s. You've gone through many periods, the 90s, 2000s, and now 2020. And 2021 will continue this. The expansion and acceleration that is happening now upon your planet and the levels of light that are coming in are going to accelerate the process for those that are much farther ahead. Will be very accelerated. Those that are just awakening will go through the dismantling of the egoic ways. Those that have been awake for 10 years, vice versa, are going to continue their expansion, their leveling of their experiences, and coherence for all. A deeper coherence. Those just awakening have not gone through coherence yet. The expansion of the heart is accelerating. And the heart is our guidance. It's our connection to source. No matter who we are or where we are, what we're from. All of us as beings of our source go through this at one time or another. The levels of light coming on your planet in the next couple of days throughout a period that is an acceptance for each of you wish to say, because some will receive it for a couple days, and some of you will allow and receive it longer. It's not the same for anyone. We ask that you please know this.
Mm-hmm.
The portals of light coming in that are opening are gateways to freedom. The freedom is your choice, and the freedom is accelerated in the heart. And those that are fighting freedom are not coherent. Those that are, what we wish to say, in your terms, stuck in a belief system that their politicians are going to save them, are not coherent. They're living in paradigm reality. The level of light comes in to activate the cellular levels, to awaken those that are ready. You're also going to see illumination upon the planet, in your plants, and in your animals as well. Those that are able to see will see. Those that are not able to see will feel. And those that cannot do either will learn to just be. And when we say learn to just be, they will learn to accept that they are not able to connect with these things yet. And when they are ready, they will. There are many that are seeking and wanting, and they're blocking. When they're ready and when they let go of the want, all falls into place.
So they're wanting, blocking them.
They're blocking their own reality by not being able to see or feel,
Mm-hmm.
because their want is bigger in a negative way. Their want is bigger in an egoic way,
Mm-hmm.
not a way that is of the source, that is of the heart.
Mm-hmm. I see. Beautiful. Thank you.
Yes.
Tell me more about this for, let's say, for the people that are awakening, what they would step into, what they would start to do on this planet, what it would look for them.
Those that haven't awakened yet, that are going to be awakening with this level of light, are going to be the same as everyone else has had to go through. The deconstructing of the egoic mind, the deconstructing of the layers of the belief systems, of the programming, of your conditions of your reality. It's going to be the same. They'll go through physical pains. They will go through what some of you refer to as mental torture. We have heard many times. It is only that which you have placed upon yourself and that which you have accepted in your own reality that you have to release. So each person is having a different experience.
So they would start their purging process.
Yes.
Yeah. And the one that did this process of purging already and were awakened for some time, what they would start to do.
Your levels of awareness are going to expand. Your heart will expand even more. Your light quotient will be expanding to brilliant capacities. And what we call alchemy through illumination, if you have not done this yet, will continue to, if you have not done this yet, it will begin. For those of you that have done this, it will continue to expand through the levels of light. And knowing that your heart holds the key for all of this is most relevant.
Yeah. Very good. So it sounds to me that as you, like Yeshua was explaining, anchoring more into love, anchoring into your heart to guide you, being very honest with yourself and with your heart, and being very connected to loving yourself and loving others as one. It will guide you through the process, through the many different choices you need to take in every moment. And what you mean is that when a person is being able to stay connected without listening the more of the awakening comes, more of the experiences are able to.
Yes, they are also connecting more with their higher self and remaining as their higher self. There'll be those that will be far enough along in the process that do not create a filtration system, if that makes sense. They will be able to allow the flow at all times from their source self, their connection to source. There will be those that will be more connected in their higher awareness at all times. But there will be those that will step in, step out. It just depends on where you are in your process and what kind of life you're actually leading right now. There are many that are leading lives that have children and are dealing with what is going on your planet right now, where they have to be here or there. Sometimes to be in your higher awareness at all times, at all stages of this game, may not always work for everyone. It just depends on your level of work, your level of light, and your level of coherence in the light. Some people can be in the light and working in the light, but not always in their heart, which is hard to explain at times. Because the heart may feel pain if you have children. It may be feeling pain for the children. You may be feeling helpless for your children. You may be feeling helpless for an adult in your life, a parent that may be going through an illness, a disease. And their anger may become, but that only means that you are not fully healed within yourself. Therefore, connecting with the higher self can happen, but then you can step out of it also to be in the reality, this we call fourth dimensional time, space, reality.
Yeah, okay, I see. So I'm wondering now how it also be manifested in this fourth dimension, 3-dimension reality when there's more of this light is coming in. And I believe probably there is more polarities that are being shown in different ways. Is that true?
The focus now is on ending duality. And it has to end within each individual. Polarities will be seen, yes. It is what's happening. And it's in a precise configuration that's helping the release upon the planet of what people think is right and what is wrong. For there is no right nor wrong.
That's really beautiful. So I'm wondering, we have this topic of people choosing to have this injection coming into them. Some people think that they will protect many other people. Many people are refusing and thinking that will be a really negative choice, let's say it in this way, to have that been done to them. So if we're looking at it from that polarities and from one's perspective, can you elaborate about how to look at it?
It is a point of view in certain terms. Yet there are things that are happening upon your planet in polarity that is aggressive, that is not heart coherent. And with this, how can we state this? With this method that is coming in to be portrayed as a savior mode for your planet, is going to create the savior mode in those that choose to take it. Yet their only savior is thyself and what thyself chooses. So one could go one way and one could go the other, and both believe that they're both doing the right thing. However, use discernment for that which is within. There are certain things we cannot say because it is your choice right now. So we will step back from what we were just about to say. You choose what you feel is right for your reality. However, do not condemn the other for what they choose. This is what we'll say.
Thank you. And this is another, maybe we can help us to come into more awareness of what each choice led, how that influence a being. If a person chooses to get injected, if a person chooses not to, what the differences in their realities, timelines?
We are reviewing what we could say.
Thank you.
To choose to be injected isn't a reality of a possibility that is not your highest outcome. To choose not to be injected is to be pure and to be in your purity of the human body, which was created by Source. You never needed to have any kind of injection in your life. You came into being as a pure human physical vessel, not needing anything but love. There is no guilt and shame in what we are saying for those of you that choose one way or the other. It is a paradigm reality. It is a reality that is also of a purpose to show each person where they are at in their process of life. There is no antidote in any of these vaccines. Please be aware of this.
So what's the purpose of that?
Please reframe your question.
Purpose of the injection. What's the motive? What's the intention from the ones who created it?
There are many different intentions. The savior reality is one of the biggest intentions. Those that feel we took this to save the world. It falls back into another time period of savior mode. And no one is here to be the savior in a collective way. Everyone saves themselves. And you save yourself by choosing love, not something outside of yourself that has nothing to do with love. Love is purity. Love is truth. Love is not an injection.
Thank you. What other intention behind it? Is it can damage in any way?
Yes. We cannot be specific for it is the choice of those persons that choose to have it.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, we cannot be specific in your reality. It is up to you to choose.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But you must follow your heart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, wonderful. What about the timeline right now? We have such a big competition that having the political situation, and many are wondering about what's going to be unfold in the next few months. If you can give us some information that you can share with us to prepare us for those days.
Your political affairs are of the mind, of the ego minds, with all politicians in all countries. There's not one politician that can stand up and say they are fully and completely coherent. They are not fully and completely in the heart. You will not find one. Doesn't matter who they are, where they are. You will not find this upon your planet at this time. Therefore, the dismantling of politicians is necessary. The dismantling of those that they see themselves as the lawmakers is necessary. The only laws are the laws of God. And the law of God, the number one law of God, is love. And if one is not in love and is a politician trying to run the world, the country, the state, the city, the kingdom, it is not the glory of God on the planet. It's the glory of oneself to be placed upon a pedestal and to try to control the minds of others. To control the minds of others is to take them away from their heart.
Can you give me an example of ways that it's being done on this planet right now, this mind control?
Media, medicines, vaccinations, these books, public school books, false information. There are also false prophets. You have what you call your Bibles as well. Many of them have been changed, rewritten into form to cause hierarchy beliefs, to remove divine feminine, to create patriarchal ways of control, to create suppression on all persons on the planet. The knowledge is within you. The wisdom is within you. And it's up to you to find it. It is not for you to be defined by a book, to be defined by someone else, to be defined by a belief system that has been running this planet for quite a long time.
Can you elaborate? I'm wondering about the history of this. What's running this planet? Can you tell me a little bit summary of that? What's behind it all that's running the show?
Behind the curtain, there are specific individuals that you may look at as dark, because that is how you see polarity as dark and light. They chose this in their lifetimes to play this part of the game and to sacrifice their own soul's expansion, but to also learn themselves. They believe in power. They believe in controlling population. They believe that they are better than others because they can play the game at this level where they are controlling all. However, they only condemning themselves and not. For it's a game they came in to play the role of. Forgiveness is key. So behind the iron curtain, they will be revealed. However, the population, the collective has got to awaken to a reality at mass levels, and they're already at mass levels, but an increase in the mass level, and come into a higher vibration, higher frequency, and higher awareness of what is going on. And the more this is raised within the collective, the more it squeezes out those that are of the dark, those that are playing the game in that reality. And we're going to reiterate this one more time. Do not condemn them as they have condemned you as being the weaker. Because when you condemn, you judge, and you fall back into ego. And this is not heart-based reality. So for those that are awakening, that are angry, in this moment of time at those that are controlling the world. You have to remember to stay in your heart no matter what, because this is graceful and this is godliness. This is mother. This is unconditional love. And this is truth.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. Many also wondering about the financial system. Can you share more about that?
Your financial system is on the brinks of collapse. And this is all we can say.
That can bring some fear for people about not knowing how it's going to be affecting their livelihood.
A collapse in your financial system does not work as it is. Therefore, it to collapse is to obliterate it. And to obliterate it is to create a new foundation. If you look at it in fear, you're going to create your own fear, yes. But if you look at it as a, yay, thank you, let's start this over, you'll recreate this foundation new. And that's why a lot of you are here. And that is the purpose of many that are here in the banking systems, to help it to collapse in the way that creates an equality for all. Does that make sense for you?
It does.
So do not bring fear into what we say. Look at it as a new beginning.
Mm-hmm. So
you will not go without what you need. This is what we need to tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. I feel very clear about that, but I think it's important for the collective to reach this level of clarity so they won't be afraid of the changes that are coming.
They're already afraid of the changes that are happening, and they're all running around in their egos saying, this is going to be the banking system. This is going to be the banking system. This is the new money. This is the new monetization. This is the new this. This is the new that. And if you have 500 different banking systems and all think that their system is the one, what's happening? The same thing. What we're going to say and what we're going to reach out and say is, don't focus on it so much. Because when you focus on it and you fear it, you continue to extort the truth. When life first came to planet Earth, you had what you needed. The abundance was an energy. Mother Earth gave you what you needed. Yes, you're in a different time period now, but this is coming back. It will take some time in your reality, but do not fear if you do not have money in your bank, because in other ways, everything will be coming to you, and what you need, you will receive. You've got to believe. And you have to know the truth. Source will never allow you to go without. The only thing that allows you to go without is the human created ego. Are we clear?
Yeah, very clear. What about the timeline for that collapse? Is there anything you can share about that? How long it's going to take for dismantling that?
It's been dismantling for a while now, for many years. And we're going to we will not give you a specific time period, but half a century at the least. There is no time period. Here's what we're going to say. When you allow your consciousness to change, you allow the consciousness, the reality of how your banking system and your money flows. That is the truth.
Yeah. Some people have this thought it's going to happen very fast and very quick. Some people have the thought it's going to take a gradual process. And it might be different for each person as well compared to this awakening. So I'm wondering if you anything else want to share about that topic.
As we have already stated, it's been half a century. It's already been in the works.
Yeah.
It will continue, and it will only change when you change your own reality within yourself. If you wish to be abundant in life, then you create it. The collective needs to come together and create this together.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yes.
You're very good. I'm wondering if there's any activations that you can bring forward that will help people with their awakening, with their dismantling of the programming, mind control, ego. And that's what you like to bring forward through Keleena today.
We can allow her being to bring through the language of light as she can. Also, the words that we have reiterated in this session today are at the levels of light. They're light encoded for you to awaken at different levels. We can allow her to come back, her higher self to come back and do this.
Okay, so maybe we do that a little later. We stay with the council.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. I'd like you to feel into the collective right now and what you can feel from Kaleena's consciousness and the people that she comes in contact with, and see if they have more questions and more topics would you like to bring forward today.
Physiological pain. Those that are feeling pain in the body, not to worry. The levels of light are changing and shifting you to become more light. Those that are having headaches. The head is going through many different changes. The brain is going through changes. Synapses is happening. There's also syntax errors happening. That's programming as you're being dismantled. There's also the brain rewiring happening. Everybody is in a different place in their process. So many different things are happening in the head, in the brain. So please know this. The expansion of light accelerates your beingness. Do not worry about what is happening. Many are worrying. The more you worry, the more you fall back into human ego once again. If you allow yourself to just be, if you allow yourself to go with the flow and to be like human nature, to be like the animals, to be like nature, watch Gaia as she expands and contracts. Feel her heartbeat. Watch the animals. Become them. Allow yourself to feel, because you are all that is. You'll understand more of the nature of your own being. We can only ask you and guide you not to fall into the traps of the human reality that is playing out upon your planet, that's trying to control you and hold you in the ego mind. It's your choice what you choose to do. Remember that the collective, all the human souls, create a consciousness. And the more that sways one way creates the change in the consciousness. So if you want freedom upon your planet, then all of the human souls have got to be in your hearts and pray for freedom. Pray for the changes you want to see. Don't pray for a person or a politician to bring this for you, because that is the old reality. Know that you have this within yourself. Pray that you find it within yourself. You are your own savior. You are here as the light to save yourself. And as you save yourself, the consciousness changes upon the planet.
Beautiful. Is there anything that the light workers can do through this solstice portals, Christmas, and on that will help with anchoring that light and bring this change forward.
Yes, the light workers know what to do that have been doing this for a long time. Bring the light through, allow it, expand their awareness, expand their heart coherence, sending it to all on the planet, but also universally. Anchor the codes, anchor the light, and continue to expand the light from your beingness everywhere, knowing that you are source. The light workers are very aware right now. There are newly awakened light workers that don't understand some of this stuff and they're not sure what they're here to do. But just lead them and let them know you came into a reality to help create this shift. Be in your heart, feel unconditional love, and send it out upon the planet. Send it into all the hearts of others. Send it into the animals, send it into Gaia. Take it into inner earth. Take it outside of the planet. Send it back to source.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for this. Is there anything else that you find for the collective?
Yes. We'd like you all to understand, because this is a big subject upon your planet. And the subject is of the divine feminine.
Yeah.
The reality of the divine feminine being suppressed for thousands of years is true. And the divine feminine is awakening within every soul upon the planet, no matter what your gender is. And you're here to balance that within you, to bring the heart coherence. Because the mother is unconditional love, as the father. However, through the programming, everything was shut down. You did not feel the love of divine father, and divine mother was shut down completely. She was barely able to light herself through souls. The codes that had been activated on the planet years ago through the priestesses and placed into the grid system are the ones that have been activated again by these same high priestesses, and priests that have walked the earth doing this work. They knew thousands of years ago this was coming, and now they have reopened these gateways. With each planetary change and shift, they work in the gateways to allow the levels of light to come in, to raise the vibrations of love upon the planet in the divine feminine energy. The divine feminine is no longer suppressed. It is only suppressed within each individual if they allow it to be. And yes, the divine feminine are leading this ascension. And there will be masculine that will have a hard time hearing this, but it is the truth, because we're moving into a matriarchal time period. However, in this time period, it is not to override one or the other. It is to restore balance and harmony upon this planet so that Gaia can shine as the beautiful star she is. So we ask all of you to raise your levels of consciousness as the divine feminine, whether you are masculine in gender, feminine in gender. Because as you do this, it raises your level of love, nurturing, caring, kindness, healing, teaching. Know this to thy heart be true. We are all one. We are complete.
Thank you so much. I'd like to invite Keleena as a higher self to return. May I speak with Keleena's higher self, please? Thank you so much for coming forward again. Please energize her body and bring more light and do another healing for her. So when she's wake up, she'll feel wonderful all over her body. Is there any more healing available for Keleena today? Upgrades? Anything for her?
We are shifting her level of light at the moment.
Thank you.
It's very high as it is. We're shifting it into a different vibration form. This frequency will shift again. It's a frequency and the understanding that all life matters, no matter what. We're bringing an angelic frequency she's already connected to. And we're just going to open this a little more. Niakara santarushita tarsitis. Sisikiaro shinamara. Akiaro toshnamara santanere temi. Mimiano yashasa satakarata pik. Inyara sintars. Mamorin nanikiratata. Yakioros. Sasakatars namokurushu. Tekira karasantama nemamari. Yara nane. Amana. Namarush nanarsata. Amoria mame. Ikitaner. Mama suratamyu. Inahamutui. Hahanuamatu. Atendesetokos. Ausunamanyanan. Nisantaya namoyin. Kiandatorientasur. Mo mañane. Aham namosotu ahamai. Aho no todo corazón. Apuya hamamu. Ayan. Ahom. Antum. Sitaras managimp. Nishira sataras. Morion muratar. Mekiane maya. Anime.
So beautiful. Can listen to those languages for hours. Would you like to share anything in translation for that?
As an activation for the shift in the shift in the languages and levels of light within all human souls, so that they may speak their truth and feel their own angelic presence for all our love. It is Mother's love. Oh,
And a deep breath and integrate and align the energies in her vessel. You mentioned that she's connecting to another stream of angelic, or can you share more maybe about the angelic that she is connected to? Is there any particular?
yes. It's angelic frequencies of light, angelic frequencies of vocalization, angelic frequencies of activation through sacred geometrical forms that create heart coherence. Her being is above heaven. This is how we can explain this. May not be comprehensible for all, but there will be those that know.
Beautiful. I'm wondering if she's an aspect of a certain angel, or is it more in a collective way?
It's an angelic of her own vibration and resilience, her own essence, you may say. Everybody has an angelic vibration of their own essence, yet they may work collectively if they so choose through a monad of another angelic vibration, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Okay, thank you for sharing this.
Yes.
Is there anything else would you like to bring forward and share with the collective today, or Keleena?
Be the love you are. This is all we have to say.
Thank you so much for all this beautiful information and everything that you showed and everything that you shared.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there time or energy for a private message for me? Is there anything that want to be shared with me, or any healing for me?
You're continuing to see duality within thyself and through your partner. We ask you to allow the flow and higher light levels of love to erase the duality within. There's no need to carry this within your heart anymore. Does this make sense?
Yeah. What I'm hearing is maybe the oneness that we are as well, and not to see as too much of two separate beings.
Exactly. This is precise.
Okay. That's beautiful.
Let go of the judgment as well.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Thank you.
Continue your work for Source and Gaia. Allow yourself to be who you are. Your time is coming.
Is there anything would you like to guide us for the solstice?
Remain in peace and allow your new you to be birthed.
Is there any location you would like us to be at? Is there any alignment to that? Any group? Anything like that?
We only want you to follow your heart, but we do ask that you be near water. Water is very important.
Okay. Beautiful. Anything would you like to guide Keleena for the solstice?
She has chosen to go into silence, which is perfect for her vibration right now. Just continue to drink and hydrate. The levels of light all need to continue to drink and hydrate. The levels of light are going to cause irritation in those that are not hydrated.
It's very important. Thank you.
Yes.
Anything else before we complete? Well, I have one question, it's actually a personal one.
All right.
I'm waking up lately with a lot of conjunction in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering if there is any reason for it, any healing for it, or something that I should do.
It's congestion in the eyes, which is happening through the shifts and changes in the eyes and also the third eye. As the third eye is going through a transformation, it tends to reveal itself through congestion of the eyes, the physical eyes. So you are already going through healing,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So just allow it to come out, but continue to drink water. Increase your alkalinity, please.
Mm-hmm. In what way? What's a good way to do it?
Lime, lemon, citrus.
Great. Yeah. It's nice and simple.
Mm-hmm.
Any other private messages you would like to give me?
Mm. More live food.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to cook things, but sometimes we overcook.
Yeah.
So more live food to feed your cells right now, especially with the level of light coming in, is very important. And that's just not for you, but it's for everyone.
Okay, great.
Mm. Allow yourself to flow.
It's wonderful. Thank you so much. Is there anything else, or are we complete for today? Did I forget to ask anything important?
May you all be well.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. We are complete.
Beautiful. So now I'd like to invite the full consciousness of Keleena to start integrating. Beautiful. 9-10, wide awake and wide awake. Feeling really good. Oh, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Whew.
Let's move this to the side. How are you feeling? Beautiful.
Mhm. Mhm. I feel like I was gone.
Do you feel like you remember things or some?
I remember the puppies. And I remember how I felt thinking of my sister.
Mm.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. I don't recall that life until now. Yeah. For some reason, I'm seeing blueberries. I don't know why.
I love blueberries. Let's get some. Let's eat some blueberries. It might be good. All right.